Morning. Yesterday I did not finish the tiles around the chimney because the ladder that I have is an old one, and I just don't know how much weight it can carry. It was making a lot of squeaky noises that I didn't trust. So yesterday afternoon I went to the Brico Depot, the largest DIY store in the area, and looked for something else, and the only thing they had that came close to what I need is exactly the same ladder. But as it was fairly inexpensive, about 120 euros, I decided to buy it. And I like the folding ladder because it fits in the car, it fits in every car, and yeah, you can set it up as you need. So my idea is I'm going to set up two ladders, and they basically divide my weight over two ladders, which is good because I am weighing 125 kilograms. That is in pounds 275 pounds. Whoa. Oh, that sounds really bad. Yeah, so I'm going to set up two ladders, so 1 foot on each ladder. They'll divide the weight, and that'll be better. I'm going to set it up properly now with a beam to make it all level, because I just don't want to risk falling down and ending up in hospital. So, as with many things, I bought this and I gotta assemble the ladder myself. That's really something I really don't want to do, you know. It's like, that's really downtime. Anyway. What's this? Manual. You don't need manuals. Where the hell did these go? So, what I did was I cut really little pieces of it's like quite a hard paper, solid paper. I just cut out little squares, and I taped them around the perimeter of that pipe. Stuck them together. I did only half side because obviously the pipe is round and symmetrical, so I just had to double one side. I taped one side, took it down, put it on the floor, draw the inner circle, flipped it over, draw the other circle, completed it, and then I traced it over on a piece of cardboard. I placed the cardboard over the pipe and I saw how well it fitted, and I decided that it was too large, but it was like 2.5 centimeter, 1 inch too large on all sides, so that was easily accounted for. And then I drew it out on that material, and that material is not bitumen, as far as I know. It's really the replacement of lead. They used to do it with soft lead. Now, for environmental reasons and probably also economical reasons, they don't do it with lead anymore, but with this stuff, and it's some sort of a tar-ish product. It is maroon on the outside, the color, which matches up with my chimney, and it has a sticky side on the other side with a peel-off plastic. So I cut it into, I cut four pieces. Started obviously with the bottom one, then the sides, and then the top to overlay it all. It's shiny. Don't like that. Really hope that the shine disappears over time. It's glossy, you know. stands out. But anyway, yeah, so because of that pipe is mounted on a plate, or it's part of a plate, and that plate is attached underneath the roofing tile slats, and then on the bottom side of that plate there is also some sort of a bitumen kind of flap that you lead out through the roofing tile slates between the roofing tiles, and if you get water coming in from the roof, then it will follow that on top of that plate down and then over that bitumen fabric slab outside. But you know, that's just a backup system. You know, that should never be your primary way of keeping rainwater out. You know, you prevent a leak from the outside. You start outside. That's where you gotta prevent it, instead of letting it come to the inside and catching it up there. That's not the right way of doing it. So now I'm sure, I'm really confident that this is a very watertight solution, and then if there may be a leak, it will run through the inside of the roof out again. But this is solid. This is absolutely solid. Yeah, I really don't like the look of it. Try to attach some moss to it, but it won't stick. I really hope that over time the color changes. We'll see. The material is really easy to work with. It's flexible, and it's a little bit elastic. You can push it into corners, and it's really sticky. Yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, as I said, I really hope that the shine disappears. The difference between the old me and the present me is the fact that I have a lot more patience than I used to have. And this patience is really helping me a lot. Because basically every problem that I'm facing, every snag, is solved by giving it time. Just stopping the work for the day and thinking it over, you know. So I've had the chimney placed now. It is all sealed and watertight. It looks fugly, but what I will do, I think, at this moment is this bitumen. In Dutch we call it roofing ladder. It's basically a yeah, those it's like a bitumen layer that's quite stiff, that becomes flexible when you heat it up with a flame. But I think what I will do is I'll make a cylinder of it that fits around the chimney up until the roof, cut in an angle, and then I also cover the maroon patch on the roof, on the roofing tiles, with this bitumen, and then it looks the bottom part of the chimney is black. It's like it's a fairly natural kind of black, you know. It's not glossy. It's got sand, a sand coating on it. But that will make it all look finished. Yeah. So yesterday I have installed that bracket holding the chimney in place on the roof side. Because of the slope of the house, I had to sacrifice two 45-degree bands, so I replaced the two bands and I got another bracket from the shop. This is how it's sitting. I have surrounded the hole, filled it up with rock wool. Rock wool is the insulation material around chimney pipes. It doesn't melt when there's a fire in your chimney, which shouldn't be, but you know, can always happen. And now I'm continuing with the cladding. Just thinking about how to cut around this in an as neat form as possible. but also in a time efficient manner. Yeah, it's gonna look okay. So I'm gonna have later another 45-degree angle here, and then a longer pipe through the planks, and there will be another support holding the whole lot. This is really a very good chimney system. It's double walled with insulation in between. The parts slot into each other really tightly, and then you clamp them. It was a very expensive chimney, but you know, safety is really the top priority. If there's anything I'm really afraid of, then it's fire. I used to live for 11 years in a house that was built in the 1500s, largely wooden structure, and I've seen a neighbor's house going up in flames, and it was just horrible, absolute horrible. Later I started working on boats, on yachts, and yeah, fire is one of those things that are, you know, really terrifying. So I've had a lot of firefighting training, which we have to do every 5 years in order to work on commercial ships, and yeah, fire is really it's really something I take serious, and every time when I smell smoke, and it happens a lot here in a country where people heat their houses with burning wood or wood pellets, but every time I smell smoke, my neck hairs raise. It's and I'm on high alert. Yeah, I've got a real fear of fire. So yeah, in the camper van I've got 2 smoke detectors in just one camper van, and 2 fire extinguishers. That's something I take really serious. Alright, further with carpentry. God, I hope I have this carpentry done by the end of the week. Then next week we can start painting the loft. That would be so cool. Carry on. I gotta fix the Electra first, especially on this side, because the Electra goes behind the cladding. So finished the cladding on that side, and now it's the forward and the aft, or the aft and the forward, or the forward and the aft, or the forward and the aft. Depends on how you look at the house. Yeah, I'm gonna have 2 groups electricity. One dedicated for the floor heating, electrical floor heating, and the other one for AC outlets and lights. So yeah, this one will go and run through all the way through the other wall, behind the cladding, down through the floor, and then behind the cladding of that wall, because that wall downstairs is going to be clad with this material. So I'm going to have power mostly coming out of this ceiling and that wall. And by doing it that way, I don't have to route out any channels in the walls. Yep. Sorry guys, sorry for the interruption, but I have something to say. You're watching now a re-edited, reconditioned episode of This Old French House. The episode that you're watching right now happened in the past. In fact, the house that we are rebuilding is basically finished right now, and it is up for sale. Yeah, unfortunately we have to sell it. Nadia and I have other plans. We are going to move to Nadia's mother country on the other side of the world. We can't have 2 houses at this moment. So yeah, the house is up for sale, and you know what? I really want you to buy it. The viewers of this channel should buy it, not somebody who's never seen this channel before. So please see my email address below. If you want to have more information, write me a short email and I'll send you all the information you need to make an informed decision, or an appointment to come by and have a look at the house. Thank you guys. Back to the video. So I have insulated the wall with the window. I have installed the electricity for an outlet there. Tomorrow I will run some extra wires for a bed light, bedside table lamp, reading light or whatever. And then close it all up and then bring the cladding in place. And tomorrow I am going to also put a trim on all the edges and prep for painting. See, the edges are pretty rough, but I will make a nice trim to look it all tidy. It feels a bit like a ski lodge, but it's starting to take shape. Now once we're done here in the loft, we concentrate on the downstairs part. Yeah, looking forward to that one. But it's quite a bit different than how it was when we first got here. Gee. On the other hand, I could have built 2 of these houses brand new in the time that it took me to get to this point. So, unless you do it yourself, otherwise it's just not profitable doing up an old house. If you would have to hire help, it's just not going to work out. Yeah, you gotta enjoy doing it, otherwise don't even start. Yeah, this edge doesn't look very neat, but it doesn't have to be, because we're gonna make a trim in the shape of the roof, and that will make it neat and tidy. Of course the roof is not at a 45-degree angle, but just to speed things up, I do this with my what do you call it, speed square, carpenter square, don't know what you call them, and I do everything on a 45-degree angle, and then we trim it off. Outlet for a AC power socket with 2 integrated USB sockets. Okay, this is the last cladding, and then we go and clad the top, and then we are going to make trim. Morning, Sunday morning. Right, all 4 walls have been clad, of the loft, that is. And you know, this is 95% of the volume of cladding, but the last 5% is going to be the finishing, and the finishing is really important because that's what you're going to see, that's what you're going to be judged at. So yeah, on the other side I have already installed finishing carpentry. I have routed all the edges. I've already, you see the white, that is sort of a caulking, a sealant, a fairly inexpensive sealant, just to fill up the voids, the cracks, the imperfections, and there's quite a few imperfections because the roof is not straight, and also the planks are not straight. So yeah, you get open seams and seams where the tongue and groove have not completely married together. So yeah, I fill these up with a caulking before I paint. I still have to do this side, the back side, the finishing. I have to do the floor. You see, the seams between the planks are fairly rough, and although this is gonna be a country style loft, it's not gonna be a perfectly finished smooth palace. It's a country style loft and I want to keep it that way, but you know, I will aim to get it as neatly possible finished. So I'm gonna route out these grooves and then insert a centimeter wide strip of wood. I glue it in, and with this flexible glue, and then the planks can contract and expand with the changing temperatures while still looking neat. It's a lot of work doing the finishing neatly, but you know, it's really worth it because I'm going to be sleeping here and I'm gonna be staring at the ceiling and thinking, you know, why didn't I just spend 1 or 2 more days and done it better? So let's just stay ahead of that and do it better now.
I know it's nothing new. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love
Morning,
me.
another day. When I routed out these seams, I inserted strips of wood with glue, very strong wood glue, and now I'm going to plane them down and then sand the whole floor. First I gotta clear it out, but I'll sand the whole floor and make it as even as possible, really. But pretty happy. Some of them, they came out really well. Yeah, it's starting to look pretty smooth. So I still gotta fix the window, put a nice trim around the window today, and then I gotta fix these corners there. I'll just insert a beam like I have there and cut it all in the shape, and then glue it in place. And then basically I gotta fill up holes everywhere and sand them down. And then after the sanding we are basically ready to paint, finally. It's taking me a lot more, just because I didn't want to skimp on the finishing. It's just important, you're gonna see that forever. And also it's taken more because last time when I was routing these grooves, I did my back in. And I had to lay 1 day on bed, and the 2 last days I've only been able to work half days, taking a lot of painkillers. It's just working in this low area quite tough on the back. You can see I'm a big guy, and this is what 1.5 meter high here, and in these corners of the roof it gets really low. So yeah, I gotta force myself in some really awkward positions to reach everything. But you know, slowly the end of the work on the loft is coming near. I can't wait to have this all painted and continue downstairs.
Single day.
Hi! Let me go check on Marius. He's sanding the loft.
Yeah, so this kind of detailing work is so important before you start painting, because you see all the little omissions you made and shortcuts you made later in the paintwork, and it's just a shame, you know. So sanding, I filled all the crevices and little seams, etc. with either glue or caulking. Still gotta trim all the caulking in the ceiling. I gotta make the window frame, and then, or the edging, and then I gotta do one more ceiling, but I think I'll do a first coat today. Yeah, spray paint on the first coat today, and then see what the result is like. I can't wait to have this painted, because that would be a real stepping stone for me. Reason being, it's just really hard working for me here. It's really low, and I gotta fold myself in all kinds of corners.
It's just us two, me and you. I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me. Falling into
I had to come down from there. Fumes are getting in my eyes, and you can't breathe. The paint's really in the air, it's all over the lens. Marius did a second coat today, so he did the first coat yesterday and the second coat today. It's 37 degrees outside. He's doing this spray painting in the loft where it's probably actually hotter, with a mask on that doesn't like siphon out the fumes, doesn't filter the fumes, and he didn't eat properly. So by the time we went for lunch, he had the full-on shakes, and he was all pale. Anyway, he's all good now. He's just finished the second coat in the loft, I think, and I'm gonna give him a hand doing some brush painting on the ceiling. Come get some fresh air.
I just need to finish this.
So it's 4 gallons of paint, Mary said. I don't know how many litres that is. I think a lot. I think there's nearly 3 liters to 1 gallon. I don't know the conversion really, but maybe that's because we've been spray painting it instead of brush painting. I don't know. Also, the wood is all different. Some of it's old, some of it's new, some of it's oak. So who knows? Some of it's soaking it up, some of it isn't. So anyway, it's looking really good. So I've just scraped down our door. It's gonna look really good. And I think Marius is gonna start a fire now at our local newspaper. Hope no one comes over.
Well, we scored this poil yesterday for €80. Size is perfect.
Beautiful
That's not too
little
big.
go down.
Yeah, it's a real go down, but we don't know anything about poils, so we need to sort of.
Did you take the key out of it?
Yeah. I don't know what this is.
It's like a grate to stop the wood falling out, no?
Right. Okay.
I'm just gonna do a little test fire. See if there's any smoke that comes out anywhere. Because we don't know anything about poils or anything, so we couldn't actually check when we bought it. Because the lady didn't even know, she didn't know either. Because they had it as decoration purely, so we'll see.
I need a little bit more fine wood. So you're gonna varnish the windows?
Yeah. Varnish the windows, not the frames today, because Marius just wants the windows done for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just get a bit of the sand and
Cool.
here we go.
So yeah, where are we at the moment? Okay, we have painted the ceiling, but that needs at least one more coat. But then the shop has run out of this color paint. So that is to be continued. Upstairs I have spray painted and rolled and brushed the loft. Let's have a look. So that's the loft. At the moment I really would like to have at least one more coat of paint on it. You know, why not? It just makes it look better. And the floor needs at least another coat, and then some detail work. I need to make a window frame for that window, install the PowerPoint, install the lights. But yeah, that's where we are right now. Now, you may remember that I was working towards having it all finished before mid-August, because I am, as I am a captain, a ship captain, I was going on a contract for a new boat on the 15th, and I had this deadline set, the 15th of August. But now my contract has changed due to the fact that this little nation in the South Pacific where I work has not fully opened up for tourism, and the little mini cruise ship I work on is not operational at the moment, so my contract has been delayed until October. This means that I have a lot more time at this moment and that my deadline is not so tough. So yeah, that changes things. I'm not going to get the small house finished before the 15th, and in fact day after tomorrow Nadia and I are going on a little holiday trip. We go for a few days to Paris, shop probably for parts for the house, and then a couple of days to Holland, visit family and friends. Yeah, and as soon as we are back, we're going to continue with the house. Nadia may be off for another job on a super yacht, but for sure I will be carrying on making this little house livable as soon as possible so that we can move into here and then start working on the rest of the property. Yeah, I think I'm going to conclude this video. There's nothing more to mention at this moment, no news. Next week there may not be a video because we're going on a little holiday trip, and I'll see you after that with hopefully more updates. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you do like the video, please a thumbs up. You can always subscribe. That would be useful, helpful for me to promote the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.